That's everything, yes?
It's a cool, beautiful, nearly winter day here in New York City. Right now I'm relaxing at Bryant Park after I had an amazing lunch of steak at a restaurant that I've been wanting to go to for years. Now, there are many fine steakhouses throughout New York City, but when it comes to the most famous, there are two that are always mentioned. One is Peter Luger in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. The other is Keen's, where I had my lunch today here in Midtown Manhattan. Now, I've been to Luger's a couple times before and I really enjoyed my experience there, but is Keen's superior? That's what I found out today. Keen's Steakhouse is located just blocks from the flagship Macy's and Herald Square in Midtown Manhattan. The iconic restaurant is one of New York's oldest. Established in 1885 by Albert Keene, it was popular with actors and playwrights when Herald Square used to be a theater district. Inside, the establishment's extensive history becomes immediately apparent as the walls and even ceilings are covered with paintings, memorabilia, and churchwarden pipes. In fact, Keen's maintains the largest collection of churchwarden pipes in the world. Legendary figures like Albert Einstein, Babe Ruth, and Teddy Roosevelt have all dined at this fabled steakhouse. It's a quite sizable restaurant. With 3 floors and multiple areas, there's plenty of space. I was seated on the 2nd floor in the Lincoln Room. All around, there's just so much to look at, but soon my eyes were taken in the menu. While I was at Keen's for the steak, their most famous offering is actually their mutton chop. Mutton comes from sheep that are typically over a year in age, while lamb meat usually refers to sheep under a year of age. I definitely want to try Keen's mutton chop in the future, but beef was on my mind, so I went with their prime T-bone. After ordering, I was presented with 2 rolls and butter. They were nice and fresh, and overall, they were decent. The bread's really solid, but I know I got a big steak ahead of me, so gotta limit myself to 1 roll. Thankfully, it wasn't long before the moment I was truly waiting for arrived. My glorious, hefty, prime, dry-aged T-bone steak was presented, and it was a beautiful sight indeed. My first bite was pure pleasure. There was just so much flavor in the beef. The taste from the dry aging really came through in my perfectly cooked, medium-rare steak. This is so good. I'm in like meat heaven right now. I also really enjoyed the sprinkling of sea salt on top of the beef, which gave a nice flavor punch, but personally I would like just a bit more salt. While there were salt and pepper shakers on the table, I much prefer the sea salt as the flakiness of it lends an added textural component to the meat. Nitpicking aside, this was a remarkably satisfying steak. The steak is so good. It is a pure meat lover's dream. For a side, I chose the creamed spinach. The nice thing about sides at Keen's is that they can be ordered at half the portion size, which is ideal for a single diner like me. Even though I'm confident I can dominate a full side, having too much of a good thing can lead to palate fatigue. Regardless of size, the creamed spinach at Keen's was amazing. You know, came here for the steak, but this creamed spinach, damn, it's like perfect. The dish had a pleasurable consistency and flavor, making it an ideal pairing with steak. That was so good, but it still saved room for dessert. For my final course, I went with another Steakhouse classic, a slice of key lime pie. It ticked off all the boxes with regards to flavor and texture. It was really delicious. After consuming such a big and hearty steak, the pie's acidity and sweetness served as a fantastic palate cleanser and most satisfying conclusion to my lunch at Keen's. This key lime pie is like perfect on every level. Extremely satisfying. That lunch, just perfect. That was a delicious lunch indeed. My steak was fantastic. All my food was really good, and the whole experience of the restaurant was incredible, from the decor to the service. I had a great time. Now, was it better than Luger's? In my opinion, yes. The steak at Keen's had far more flavor to it. Now, don't get me wrong, I still liked my steak at Luger's. It's just with that one, the butter and the fat has more of an overwhelming flavor than the actual meat itself. Plus, I think the steaks at Luger's could be seasoned just a bit better as well. But like I said, the steaks at Luger's are really good. I just personally prefer the ones at Keen's. Now, when it comes to sides, I think the two are more equal in that regard. I've loved every side that I've had at Luger's, and I really enjoyed my cream spinach today at Keen's. Dessert-wise, I also think they're both pretty equal in that regard, although I do gotta give an extra point to Luger's for having that amazing schlag or whipped cream they present with every dessert. That is a really nice touch. Decor-wise, they're both really beautiful. They're historic, iconic NYC establishments with lots of history. I like the old German beer hall vibe of Luger's, but I gotta give it to Keen's. Keen's could literally double as a museum. There's just so much eye candy on the walls, on the ceiling. I could literally spend a half hour, 45 minutes just exploring all those rooms and taking in just the incredible atmosphere of the place. In my opinion, Keen's is one of the best looking dining rooms in New York City. Price-wise, they're about the same, although I think Luger's cost maybe just a bit more, but regardless, they're both steakhouses and they're both expensive. Which brings me to my last point, and one that makes Keen's far superior to Luger's, and that is because Keen's takes credit cards. The fact that you have to pay with either cash or a debit card at Luger's just simply sucks. I hate it. Now, it's one thing if you're at a restaurant and they require you to use cash for like a baked good or something cheap, maybe like in the $10 to $20 range. But Peter Luger's is a fine dining restaurant. You'll probably be spending at least 3 figures there. It's a hassle, but I still love Luger's. It's still a fantastic, iconic NYC establishment. You'll still get a great steak there, but personally, I really like Keen's. My lunch today was amazing. The steak I had was fantastic. Everything about the whole experience was incredible. I can't wait to go back to Keen's, and the next time I'm there, I'm definitely gonna be trying that mutton chop.